Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Mr. Blake at your service. And this is a new quirky comedy coming your way from director Gilles Lagardère, and who co-wrote the screenplay with Christelle Hannon. And this film focuses on the story of a widowed businessman from Britain who winds up unexpectedly taking up a job as a butler at an estate in France, and winds up building this connection with these different people who live in this mansion, including you have this woman who owns this land and everything, you have the cook, you have like the groundskeeper, all of the different players involved here, and at the center is John Malkovich, who is our British businessman, who, the film starts off at the beginning, his friends worried about him processing his grief of losing his wife, and you feel that emotion. John Malkovich is a very talented actor and can convey all of those emotions in a very effective and efficient way. And he's able to balance those tones of here's something weightier and then here's something where it's like I'm having some fun and being charming about it. This film, over the course of its close to like an hour and 50-minute runtime or so, doesn't do a whole lot that feels very structured. A lot of it's a bunch of little vignettes, a bunch of little subplot threads. Each of these characters is trying to process something on their own, and each of them have their own little arcs. And obviously the key one is Malkovich's Andrew Blake, and the journey that he goes on grieving his wife, trying to reconnect, like he has his daughter who he hasn't seen, and all of those kinds of elements, while also he came to this estate because this is where his wife and him met, and they always meant to go back there, and there's that emotional resonance there. But he also is trying to get involved in each of these people's lives and make some kind of impact. And I think Fanny Ardant, who plays Natalie Beauvillier, is the one who owns this estate, and there's financial issues. Is she going to have to sell it? Those kinds of things. I really liked Emily Duquesne, who was the cook. She had her cat. I think the cat's name was Mephisto. And, you have a little arc with the cat. You have this dynamic with the cook and with Blake and their tension and them slowly becoming friends. There's a bunch of threads throughout, like potential buyers and like what Blake will do to try to stop that. There's like the neighbor next door, and there's definitely plot threads that felt wholly unnecessary and could have probably been cut from the film and wouldn't have missed much from it. This film doesn't dive too deep. It's not particularly like laugh out loud funny. It's just very charming. And over the course of this film, it has a nice atmosphere. It has some fun characters and some good performances. Oddly enough, I kind of felt like this felt more like a pilot to a potential show than it did like a feature-length film. But it's a charming little film, and it has enough going for it for you to sit there and just be engaged with, the chemistry and the charisma that these actors bring to the table, while Lagardère brings something very specific and warm to the setting, which this house is gorgeous, and just the atmosphere of the film. But those are my thoughts on Mr. Blake at your service. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.